Tell me, does it ever feel like your message just isn't landing? Like your team nods politely, but the energy dies right after? Maybe you've even tried the assertive mode. But let's be honest, in male-dominated spaces, that's a trap. You can't change the whole culture overnight, right? So how do you actually get heard? How do you go over from being talked over to owning the room? Stick around, because I've got 7 really practical moves that'll turn polite compliance into real enthusiasm. No fancy budget needed either. Here's a weird truth. The harder you try to sound confident, the less people listen. Because influence isn't something you force onto people. It's something you unlock inside them. And the secret? It's not being louder. It's being clearer, calmer, and more intentional with your words. Are you ready to stop pushing and start pulling people in with your words, with how you speak? Let's roll. Move number 1. Anchor every task to a bigger win. When work feels random, like laying bricks without any blueprints, people disengage. But when they see the cathedral they're building, everything changes. That's why storytelling is your secret weapon. Don't just assign tasks. Explain the why. For example, these data entries keep the hospital stocked, so no mom waits for an hour for fever medication at 3 in the morning. That's not busy work. That's impact. Move number 2. Co-author the goals. So you think SMART goals are the answer? Perfect. But they only work when your team helps write them. When goals come from above, people comply. When they co-create, they commit. So instead of announcing your quarterly targets, try this. Each of you share one personal metric you'd be proud to hit this quarter, and then blend those into team goals. Now, they're not just rowing, they're steering with you. Gartner says teams that co-create goals are 28% more motivated. That's what buy-in looks like. Move number 3. Use the 80-20 filter. Here's one of the most powerful leadership speeches. We're not doing that. When everything's a priority, nothing is. Sit down with your team and use the 80-20 rule. What's the 20% that drives the 80% of results? Focus only there. Move number 4. Delegate strength, not headcount. When a new project lands, don't ask, who's free? Rather ask, who's brilliant at this? Then hand over the outcome, not the checklist. Say, I'm giving you this because I trust your judgment. That line right there, more motivating than a raise. Harvard University found autonomy boosts more than a 6% salary bump. Trust is currency. Spend it. Move number 5. Radar check-ins. Let's talk meetings. Nobody wants another hour-long sync. Try 15-minute radar check-ins. They're quick, focused, and efficient. Here are 3 questions you may want to ask. What's your one win for this week? Big or small? Here's why this works. It starts positive and it builds confidence. It shows you what they value, not what you assume. And it feeds directly into move 6. Praise fast and precise. And as a leader, your response should be that you acknowledge specifically what they did well. Not just saying, great job. But, for example, the way you handled that client pushback showed real strategic thinking. Here's a red flag though. If they struggle to name anything, they're either overwhelmed or disengaged. Question number 2. What's blocking you right now that I can help remove? Why this is really positive. It positions you as the obstacle remover, not the micromanager. It also demonstrates move 4, delegate with trust. You trust them to identify problems. And it also builds respect through action, not words. Your response should be either solve it immediately or commit to a specific timeline. For example, I'll have an answer by Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Here's why it's a critical move, is you actually need to follow through. This single action's built more respect than any leadership speech. Here's a red flag though. If they say nothing every time, they don't trust you yet. So that means you need to keep showing up consistently. Never give up. Question number 3. On a scale from 1 to 10, how clear are you on your top 3 priorities right now? Here's why it's positive. It reveals confusion without making them admit failure. And it directly supports move number 3, to prioritize with confidence. And it gives you real time on your leadership clarity. Your power move. Your response should be, if below 8, spend 3 minutes realigning right there. And here's a power move. Ask, what would make it a 10? And they'll tell you exactly what they need from you. Here's the red flag. Consistently low scores means that you're not communicating your priorities clearly enough. Keep it standing to stay sharp. MIT University found this micro-meeting style boosts team cohesion by 17%. Short, purposeful, everyone gets heard. Move number 6. Praise like you're tweeting. Recognition loses power the longer you wait. Don't just say, good job, Jasmine, but say, your footnote caught a 6-figure error. That saved us big time. That's how you build habits. Specific, public, immediate. You're not just praising, you're training success in real time. Move number 7. Build a skill swap culture. No training budget? No problem. Turn your team into a barter market for skills. Your Canva experts trades tips with your Excel wizard. Set up a skill swap board. What can people teach and what they want to learn? LinkedIn Learning found peer teaching boosts retention by 75%. It's free, effective, and full of connection. So, there you go. 7 simple ways to stop barking orders and start sparking action. Pick one move. Try it this week, and then drop a comment below. Which one are you testing? And if you're a woman leader, tell me your biggest communication challenge. I reply to every comment, and who knows, your story might inspire the next video. Hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's breakdown, turning feedback dread into a two-way growth machine. Stack even a few of these, and you'll see your team shift from quiet compliance to genuine ownership. Because leadership isn't about giving orders. It's about inspiring that question, what's next? I'll see you in my next video. Bye.